Good evening. How are we all? Hope we are all well and having a good start to the week. And I'm going to cover another topic today, and this is one that this bitch is overqualified in. The advice and the knowledge I have for this is endless, absolutely endless. So this will be a decent video. So I've written down some pointers because I'm actually going to try my best to cover a topic and just flow and talk about it and just, see what comes off my head and try and get used to that sort of more face-to-face, what's coming out of my head, give it a crack. But anyway, I've got the list of what I'm sort of going to cover. So what I'm covering is people pleasing, as the title suggests, which has been pretty much a massive aspect of my life. Like, I'm talking it's only the last 2 years that I've really tackled this, because it was a major issue in my life. It caused so many issues in my life. It invited in so much bullshit into my life, and it's something that I had to identify and fix. And I know lots of people that can probably relate to this. And but yeah, I'm here to chat about that. So pretty much what I've got here is how do we become people pleasers, how it destroys your life, relationships, all of it. How do you become assertive instead of being a people pleaser? I shall turn the page. Boundaries. So how to form boundaries and identifying the causes, and having standards, creating standards for yourself as well. Another page. There's quite a lot on here, I'm not even kidding. But yeah, it's pretty well the topics we're going to be covering anyway. So one of the main things I've got here is how do we become people pleasers? So if we really dig back to the root on how it goes all the way back for a lot of us, for me, I know it was childhood and my upbringing. So this is no shade on anyone or like anyone in my life. Like I said, I had a great upbringing, I had great family, great friends, and it's not like I've had a horrible life or anything, like that. But anyway, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. So my parents were quite non-confrontational people. They didn't really speak up or stand up too much for themselves, or also, like, my dad being a cop in his line of work, he's used to dealing with a lot of, conflict and aggressiveness, obviously people in your face, but so it's like a lot of avoiding conflict. We don't like conflict, we like to keep the peace, we like the environment to just be peaceful, no conflict, that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Which, so, yeah, this kind of created this whole identity for me. Like, this is the beginning of it. The next thing is, I find for a lot of people, will be bullying and low self-esteem. So, I was bullied in school, I had the lowest self-esteem, and I always wanted to avoid, I wanted to keep myself safe, which meant not speaking up for myself, being quiet. I was always being smushed down, always being told these horrible names and things like that, and it made me not speak up for myself. And I knew when I kept quiet, if I stayed small, if I stayed in my little box, that I wouldn't get, I wouldn't be seen. I wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't be causing any conflict or keeping myself safe, And the other thing can be abuse. I'm not saying, like, this is all forms of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, you name it, because believe it or not, that can sort of come from the need to yet again avoid conflict to stay safe. Because I was quite young when I was in this relationship with someone incredibly narcissistic, blackmailing, abusive, ripped me away from friends and family. It was a pretty not fun time. But this is all the building blocks. This is what I mean. It's the building blocks, the low self-esteem, and then attracting this guy into my life, and then having him just constantly beat me down to nothing, and having to, yet again, just come in and stay safe, no conflict. It was always just making sure the other person tuning into everyone else. So that's the empath part of it. So that's what being an empath is you tune in to everyone else's feelings and you adapt and you reflect and you go, oh shit, okay, this person's feeling this in this room, so I better act like this and I better do this. So you're pleasing everyone around in the room to keep the peace, keep yourself safe. And then a bonus to that, if you believe in all the star sign stuff, is I'm a Libra, and guess what our main quality of, oh, quality, I wouldn't call it quality, guess what our main trait is? Fucking people pleasing. I'm just like, damn, god damn. I'm set up, I got set up. Oh shit, but anyway, these are things you can actually dig back and dig back into your past and figure out why you actually are a people pleaser. Where did this come from? And yeah, it can be all of that. And this is something you've personally got to dig back and look for yourself, because it might look different for everybody, The next part is how it destroys your life. Okay, first thing I got there is not being true to yourself. So you're never true to yourself, ever. Imagine living your life always tuning into everyone else, and everything you do in your life, your decisions, like things you choose or things like anything you're doing in life, you base it off making the other person happy and just keeping the peace, keeping this person happy. You're never even going to develop an identity for yourself doing that. No fucking way, no identity. You're not actually doing stuff that you want to do or that you agree with, or, it's crazy. And here we are just please, and just pretty much being a fraud version of ourselves. So there's already that lack of self-trust for ourselves. There's no foundation of trust in ourselves. And that's when you find you'll probably start relying on other people too, You become a doormat. You become an absolute doormat. So that was pretty much me. You become you're nice. You're not kind, you're nice. You're just nice all the time to please everybody else, and you just become a fucking doormat. And no one has respect for you. Simple as that. No freaking respect. And you are also energetically in a low frequency when you are people pleasing your way through life. So it definitely affects you on an energetic level. So you'll internalize this. So what you're internalizing is your low self-worth. I've got to please everyone. And you will project that. And guess what? You will attract the worst people for you. And then you go, why do I keep attracting these people? Like, hi, narcissist. That's pretty much what you're asking for. Because who is going to look at you and respect you and just be like, oh, fuck, this girl will do anything for me. She can't even say no to me. She will, she's just, I can walk all over her. You're just a recipe for attracting like a narcissist or someone that just uses you for their gain. That's literally what you're putting out there, and what you internalize is an energetic thing, and you're putting that out there and you're inviting it back in. And then that's why people question, why do I keep inviting a certain thing in my life? And it was the same for me. This is a recent example of that, is I couldn't understand why, because deep down I want a relationship or a serious relationship and blah blah, but I was like, why do I keep attracting people that aren't emotionally available? Only to realize in my head, I've actually been internalizing, no, I'm not ready for a relationship. And it's not till someone would come along that was serious, and then I went, oh my God, I'm not actually ready, because I still want this whole year to develop my own identity and myself. I still have work to do, and I'm not actually ready for that. But I was just internalizing deep down what I really wanted, and that was reflecting in who was coming to my life. So I found that quite interesting. And it's the same thing. What you're internalizing, it will manifest in your life. So that's that side to it too. Affects relationships and decision making. So yeah, I've already just covered that before now that I think about it. Your decision making, all your decision making is based off making everyone else happy. We know that. But it affects your relationships. So the current ones you've had that you've built up over years, you know, this person or people don't actually, never knew, because you had no boundaries. Anyone could say anything or do anything or ask anything of you, because that was just expected of you. That was their expectations of you. And, you know, when you decide to change that and make boundaries and you change, it can shock people a lot, because they're like, fuck, I didn't even know. I didn't even know you felt this way. And now all of a sudden you do, and now things have to change. And that's the big block you've put in your life, where it affects your relationships, you know, which is really sad. You know, that's a little bit on you too. You know, you got to take accountability for that too. You know, it doesn't mean no one should treat someone a certain way or badly or use them just because a person's too nice. You know, that shouldn't be done either. But in all fairness, on the other side of that, this person didn't even know you were feeling this way. So, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, like over this many years, you know, like this, and this, and now they have to take all that on. Oh, fuck, okay. You know, so that's another side to it. But it's all just a part of stepping out of this and creating a new identity for yourself and being your authentic self. And this is the other thing I meant about my friend Mickey taught me this. Being passive aggressive. So if you're not assertive, you're a people pleaser, you never ever communicate what you need, you never communicate when something upsets you, guess what happens? You bottle. You'll bottle it, and fucking boom, you explode. People have had this, I'm sure, happen to them before. And then you're aggressive, or you can get passive aggressive, and then that is unhealthy. That's on you. That's not cool. You know, because you should have been assertive from the beginning and expressed when someone was crossing your boundary, and that's what having boundaries is all about. But we're getting to that. We are getting to that. And that is the next part, which is how do you become assertive instead of people pleasing? These are things I've been developing over like the last 2 years. So the first things first is identifying the causes and taking the journey to heal what has been damaged in you, you know, and that could include reading books, videos, you know, self-help, self-love, but also developing confidence and trust in yourself. But also that could mean seeing a therapist, because they have all the tools in the box to help you dig back to your past, to your roots, to figure out exactly why you're behaving certain ways, and they can help you uncover patterns and behaviors that you have in life if you feel you struggle to be able to do that on your own. So that's a really good option for that too. So that's the first thing I started doing. I haven't seen a therapist. I seriously thought about it though. I think it always is beneficial no matter what. But I did a lot of this work by myself, because I learn in different ways, and I've grasped a lot of different topics, a lot of different subjects to sort of develop, you know, my own realizations. But the next thing is boundaries. So boundaries, you've got to have respect for yourself. If you don't have respect for yourself, no one will fucking respect you. They will see you for exactly that. This person doesn't even respect themselves. They do anything anyone tells them to do. Like, you're weak. Sorry, but like, you're weak. You have no confidence, no self-esteem. You let everyone walk all over you. You've got no respect for yourself. And I found that when I had no respect for myself, because I had such a low self-esteem. I felt like I had to say yes to everyone. I couldn't say no. I could never do what was actually right for me in my heart. And that is just such a betrayal to yourself. It is such a dishonor to yourself. And you will keep hurting yourself. And this is the really sad part, that I think most people pleasers, and sometimes it can reach a point where you can do this healthily, but this is an example. When I went through divorce and the end of my relationship, I was, you know, in a headspace of, I was going through so much hurt, and I knew what I needed to do. I knew what to do that was right for me. And even just about got there the first time, but I was such a people pleaser and so afraid of hurting the other person that I couldn't even fucking listen to myself and my needs. Couldn't do it. And you know what happens when you do that? When you betray yourself, you're not your authentic self, and you do not do what's right for you, something's got to give. Something will give. Your body, whether your body takes over or whether you just go on a destructive warpath of fucking it's because it's terrifying to let the bomb off in your own life, I feel like Matthew Hussey explained that, it's like, it's almost easier when someone leaves you or ends something because you just deal with it, but letting off the bomb in your own life is fucking terrifying. It's hard. But, the point is, if you don't respect yourself, you're not true to yourself, you people please your whole life, you'll just eventually realize, who the fuck even am I? I can't even make myself do what's right for me. And essentially something will give. Something will give. The universe will do something, you'll do something, and you'll actually end up doing triple the hurtful behavior if you had just done what was right for you in the first place. And you will make big, fat, fucking horrible decisions or mistakes, and then you've got to deal with the repercussions of that too. So keep that in mind. I learned that the hard way, the absolute hard way. And this is all a part of the healing though, and forgiving yourself, and it's a whole ass thing. So the thing is, when you have boundaries, is that you're creating that respect for yourself, and you're inviting the right people into your life. The right people that align with who you actually are. So you're inviting the correct, healthy relationships that are in alignment of your authentic self. That's what you're doing, and if you have a boundary and someone doesn't respect it, that is the way of saying, this person doesn't belong in my life. See ya. You want to cross a boundary? They can cross it, and you can tell them. And if they want to keep crossing it, see ya. Simple as that. If they don't align with you, they don't respect you. That's why we have boundaries. Exactly why. And it's okay to stand up for yourself and say no. I always felt like I just had to say yes to everything, and that's why I always got taken advantage of, and people would see that weakness in me because I was like, this chick just can't say no. This girl just can't say no. Even in my work environments, I've had that. I've had people go, oh my fucking God, this girl's got no boundaries. She doesn't stand up for herself. She's a doormat. I'll just tell her what to do. I'll get her to do my work for me. She'll, that's what you're essentially doing to yourself. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But, don't beat yourself up about all of this, because it's just life, and we learn from all this. And as long as you can grow and learn and identify these things, there's a way on, there's a whole nother side, a whole nother you waiting for you. The next thing is standards. So this one I felt especially hard in the last 2 years, because I know that people have opinions and hear stories or develop, opinions about you, whatever, and will see you in whatever light they see you in, from what whatever. But, for me, I was afraid to set new standards for myself, because I'd always been that people pleaser, but people just know you from being in this little box. She does this, she does that. That is, but it's, you're afraid to have new standards because people only know the old version of yourself. But if you don't create new standards for this new identity and this new person that respects themselves, that's low standards. You're just going to have, if you're not doing what's right for you, it's low standards. You need to actually raise your standards regardless of your past, because you can change, and you deserve to make new standards for yourself that aligns with this identity, Healthy people that are growing and changing set standards, and they can change. Your boundaries can change, your standards can change 100%. These standards support your new identity and frequency, your energy, the energy level that you're raising to, and it cements what aligns with that identity. So you're building trust in yourself and confidence in yourself because you are backing it up with your actions, with your boundaries. This cracked me up. There was this video of this guy. He's this real muscular, gruff guy, and he was in like one of those talks that they do on the stage, entrepreneur talk or whatever, and he's just like talking about boundaries, and it can come across to people that like to cross boundaries. They like to say, this person has a big ego, this person's up themselves because of their standards, and things like that. And it's like, oh, you think you're all that? I am. I am. It cracked me up. Like, you do have to have that confidence in yourself because you are backing yourself. You've got to back yourself up. No one else is going to do it. You've got to back yourself up. I am. I fucking am. This was another interesting thing that I read what I wrote, that I was thinking about. So you have to remember, you are essentially a mask that someone gives you. So there's a million different versions of you, and only you know the real you. Everyone else only knows you from what they've heard about you, what they've experienced with you. That's essentially their version of you. And so you're hundreds of different versions of you exist. And, so why not be unapologetically yourself? Because you're always going to be a different version. You might be a fucking awesome, fun, energetic, great person that's so cool to someone else, and you might be a egotistical fucking asshole to someone else, but that's not our responsibility. That's just their lens of perspective, and they're basing their judgment off you based off what they know about you, their values, their beliefs. It's, that's not on you. It's, so it doesn't matter what you do in life. Everyone will always have an opinion. And so why not remember that you are the main character of your life? And remember that everyone is doing this life for the first time. For the absolute first time. Everyone, your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your family, everyone is doing this life for the first time. So we're going to make mistakes. We're going to fuck up. We're going to have experiences. There will be lessons. But it's all a part of the journey, And I think when you look at it like that, people aren't so, you can't just villainize people so much, and just know that everyone's going through the journey. But so don't spend your life trying to fit other people's mold. Respect yourself. Be yourself. There's just no other way to be. There's nobody more qualified in managing your life than you. Nobody. But yeah, and it's really cool when you actually start doing things, when you're coming out of this people pleasing, when you start backing yourself and doing the things that are aligning with who you truly are, you open up to new relationships, healthier ones, and you're able to realize how to it's peaceful because you choose what you're allowing into your life as well. That's one thing I found was I want to make another video on this, which is being alone, having a small circle, not having heaps of people around you, and learning to deal with loneliness and turning it into solitude. That's, another part of it. It's like I said, there's a million aspects to this process. I'm telling you right now, a million different, but they're all interconnected. But yeah, I think that's pretty much well covered. And when you start, you'll start to see the change. That's the beauty of it. You're doing this work and you're like, fuck, I'm not really, is stuff actually changing? And it's not until I've just realized a lot more things about myself and putting it into practice, and when you back it up and you back yourself, where I've been in situations where I've stood up for myself now. I lay my boundaries out to someone when I'm out. I've gone, no, you can't, da-de-da. No, I won't hold your hand. No, I won't go home with you. No, I don't want to do that. No, you can't touch me. And when you start doing that, it's like, holy shit. You are forming a trust and a solid foundation in who you are, and you're supporting your identity. You are supporting the person that you want to be. So, fuck the people-pleasing game. And I think another good thing to help with this is like engaging in your masculine energy. That's something I struggle with. I was in hardcore feminine energy when I was people-pleasing. I just wanted to make everyone happy, tune into how everyone else was feeling. It was just all based off all the stuff that I dug back to. And there's still little bits of it that will come out now, because you're undoing years and years of this person you have built up on these false I don't know the word, but it's just false. Essentially, you were a fraud. That sounds so horrible, and I hate to think that, but and when you start figuring out who you are and you start making decisions for you, it's so beautiful, and life just gets better. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that anyway. I hope this video helped a lot. I really enjoyed making this one. I feel it was quite cool to speak from the heart with this one. I felt this one a lot easier because it really resonates deep in my heart, because I really feel for the people that are people pleasers and have had their whole lives fall apart, or have had to literally reinvent themselves to let the bomb off in your own life, pull the pin and the grenade and start over. It's not easy. And I'm fucking proud of you if that's where you're at and you're a recovering people pleaser. I'm so proud of you. And we are so much stronger than we think. I will keep saying that, and I will chuck that quote in again at the end from my last video. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And fuck yes, that is just so true. So yeah, and I'm fucking proud of myself. You're the only person that you've got to please. You're the only person that you got to be happy with. No one else can do that for you, just you. So stay strong. Keep being authentic. Keep being genuine. Keep being you, because you're the main character of your life. Have a fantastic night. Love you all.